Hello Twin Flames, welcome to this channel and welcome to your daily Twin Flame check-in. Today we've got new moon in Scorpio. I actually was gonna do a reading yesterday, but I wasn't feeling very well, and actually in the moment when I was doing the recording I forgot about it. So correcting the situation, we still will have this energy pretty strong over the weekend. So I feel like it's really important for us to see what's going on with the twins during this time, what kind of messages are important for us to hear from the ancestors, from the guides. You know, it's the new moon in Scorpio, so the Scorpionic energy is asking us to be brave, take a chance, you know, take risks, and not to be afraid to step into the unknown. And as we know, that's like one of the ultimate rules of the spiritual path and personal growth, I would say. It's not always up to us, by the way, but when we get into those situations where there is a lot of unknown, or you know, the carpet is basically pulled from underneath us and we're like, whoa, this is the moment, this is the momentum really when miracles happen, if you allow for them to enter. Because the divine, the higher power, they don't take our comfort away just to kind of throw us off, right? There is a divine purpose to it, and a lot of times it's for us to go further, higher, to ascend, and for our life to expand. So keep that in mind. Also, by the way, happy Diwali. Got my anarkali on, have the rest of the outfit as well. I might send a picture of that, we'll see, but I am celebrating with friends tonight. It's gonna be absolutely wonderful. I hope you do too. It's such a great holiday, full of joy and happiness and gratefulness, really. So happy Diwali to everyone. Okay, let's get started, and I will start with an oracle card from the Spirit Junkie deck from Gabby Bernstein. I haven't used it forever, and I decided that it's time. And then I have the Dreamkeeper's Tarot, so we will go moonish. We'll go into that moon space. Moon is very much a water energy, and when you have new moon in a water sign, it's even more so. And by the way, rituals with water are very welcome, however you can and want to exercise it. And I mean, of course, if you have a chance to go to the body of water and interact with it, perfect. If you live somewhere in the urban area and you're thinking, oh, that's a good one, Victoria, that's great, but I mean, the most, like, maybe I have a fountain in my town, right? And it's like many miles away from me. It doesn't matter, because you can still do it at home. You can do rituals in a shower, in a bath, even with just, you know, putting your hands or your feet in the water. You know, it's more about intention, if anything. And since we have been talking about the ancestor energy, that's still very relevant. Today is the All Saints Day. In many cultures, especially in Europe, as far as I remember, people actually commemorate those who have passed on, and they bring, you know, they bring flowers. In some countries, I know it's chrysanthemums that are considered this occasion, you know, and there is a symbolic meaning to that as well, by the way, right? But people are remembering those who are no longer with us, you know, the loved ones. They go to cemeteries, and there are all these different rituals, if you wish, as well. We have Samhain happening. We have Day of the Dead tomorrow, so we continue working with the energy of the ancestors for sure. Divine Feminines, your card for today is all that I love is more important to me than all that I fear. Yeah, and to me this is very much connected to that topic of stepping into the unknown that I was talking about. You know that obviously stepping into the unknown naturally raises fear in our body. That's how our brain operates, doesn't like the unknown, right? But we remember our values, what we stand for. And if that unknown is inviting us as something that's aligned with our purpose, our values, our passion, then the fear, you know, becomes secondary. It steps to the background. For the masculines, I send a prayer of love to all beings in need of miracle. Look at all this love energy today. I love this. Loving the love. Thank you very much, our dear ancestors. I have a strong feeling that that's the message from the ancestors for us today, of how much love they actually have towards us. Okay, let's continue with tarot. And as always, by the way, if you like what I'm doing, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is the last day when you can still leave, you're supposed to be subscribed, and then you can leave up to, well, not up to, at least 5 comments under any of the videos. Shouldn't be the same video though. And you will be entered into sweepstakes to get a free personal reading with me. I will announce the winners most likely on Sunday, because tomorrow I have some errands to run and I don't want to do this in a rush. So most likely I will do that on Sunday. All right. And by then I will also upload all of my November horoscopes. I'm just a little bit behind, but I'll catch up today and tomorrow. And speaking of which, that's another way for you to also participate. And you can participate with the same account, but if you're doing it on my other channel, Mindful Bamboo, it's gonna count as a separate entry, right? And be subscribed to that channel and leave 5 comments over there. Same rule applies. All right. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. Yeah, new moon is for setting the intentions. And a lot of times people still struggle with the idea of what does it mean to set the intention, because we're so used in our education, in the fairy tales that we read, that you know, in the fairy tales, in the stories, let's put it that way, people make a wish and it comes true. Then there is some kind of miracle or the creature that can make your dreams come true, right? And that's what happens. But it's not really like that. I mean, it's part of it. Although a lot of times when we're actually making a wish, we still are pretty attached to it, right? So there is an energetic difference, a mental difference to setting an intention. But the other part of it, after you've set an intention, is of course taking action on it, right? It's and yes, and you may say, but I already know that I won't be able to achieve it with what I have now. That's the whole point, right? That's fine, but you still need to start somewhere. And yeah, again, our brain likes completeness and likes to see the whole thing, the whole roadmap up till, you know, step 100 when you actually get what you want. But, you know, that's part of that acceptance and stepping into the unknown. Acceptance, and you may not know all 100 steps, because all you can see and kind of figure out is like the next 5, maybe 10. And that's enough. But then, of course, start taking the steps, because that's how you show the universe that you are serious, that this is important, that you are in, you know, you're doing your part as much as you can. And then the universe will step in and do theirs. Bottom of the deck here, High Priestess. Yes, we are the High Priestesses, and you know, we have all the magic we need. We shouldn't just count on some external power to make all our wishes come true. For feminines, the energy is 4 of Cups, clarified by 2 of Swords. Yeah, both of these cards, especially like with this deck, are about making decisions. Do we use the head or the heart, right? What's the leading power here? And the truth is that a lot of times, if we speak about the energy, then most of what happens to us is connected to the heart space, whether we like it or not. Yes, we then override some of the things with our brain, with our mind, with our willpower, but it's percentage-wise, it's still quite insignificant. So if you think about it, if so much actually not only depends on your heart space, but actually the universe is reading the energy of your heart space, what you have going on there, then isn't that the focus? Isn't that what we should be manifesting with, right? And then as soon as you give yourself permission to go there and to feel free and not to think and overthink about consequences, risks, etc., etc., then you almost like it's a breath of fresh air. You know, you immediately feel better, you feel more joyful, and things start rolling, because that's exactly the manifestation energy. For masculines, we have the Judgment, clarified by King of Swords. So yeah, definitely we've been seeing Judgment for a while, actually, for the masculines. That's very Scorpionic card, by the way, as well. With the King of Swords, again, there is this kind of balance of like, okay, I'm getting some downloads, but I want to put a more logical spin on it, right? A more practical one, to see how does it make sense in my reality, in what I have going on in my life, you know? So there is that kind of reconciliation between the two, because the downloads, a lot of times, are more abstract, right? And then you're like, okay, well, that sounds great in theory, in vacuum, right? But I have actual circumstances in my life, I have actual people, actual situations that I'm dealing with. How do I apply that to here, right? So there is a lot of that breakthrough time for the masculines right now. And speaking of the Scorpio energy, that's what essentially is taking you to the next level. And sometimes we don't notice it until we're actually there. That's another wonderful thing about personal growth and ascension, you know? And don't get hung up on that. Don't think like, okay, this is new moon in Scorpio, so I really need to decide what I'm gonna do to fully transform, or how am I gonna transform next. That's not the end goal. That's kind of the side effect of what you're doing. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities that the universe is already bringing to you, right? Use your discernment, do your meditation, ask their guides your questions, right? And act on those. And then the transformation is something that will happen. And it's more like a heads up, just so that you're not too surprised, you know? If, you know, after a few days or weeks, you're like, whoa, my life is like taking a completely different turn now, right? And then you'll know, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're in Scorpio season, obviously. Additional question for today, Page of Pentacles, clarified by 10 of Cups. To me, this is like, what are the simple steps we can take to get to the bigger picture of our happily ever after picture? Again, so that we're not getting too overwhelmed by this kind of future, right? And we can keep drawing there, right? Like, how do we see that? The family life, but what else? And everyone will have like a list or a vision, right? What you want that life to be. But what are the steps you can take today to get to that picture in the future? Wow, the feminine's got 4 wands and the Magician. You are in charge of this union coming together, especially if we're talking twin flame union. The feminines lead the journey, you know, lead the path. So it's kind of in your power. And I know that may sound like too much responsibility, but think of it that way. Everything that you are doing for your personal development, for your healing and growth, for this, like discovering how you can serve and how you can help people, you know, looking at your passions, all of this is contributing. It's like, if you imagine it as a box, like let's say it's maybe even a chest, right? Like every time you do that, you add more stuff to the chest, that eventually you'll fill it up, and that will be, again, that ascension to the next level, and that gets you closer and closer to where, you know, to the state where you would be in the union energy. And that's when you are naturally attracting your divine masculine. So it's not about chasing, it's not about, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then they will definitely come running. No, it's about taking care of your space, your life, your energy. And then the right person will get attracted. And maybe it's not gonna be the person that you thought it would be, and that's another plot twist, right? That's the magic. And look at that, oh my god, 4 wands for the masculines, Queen of Pentacles and 4 wands. It's like, for masculines, I get this, like, your queen, your feminine, loves you unconditionally, right? And they are your perfect complement, your perfect life partner in everything. And deep down, you know that, right? So what are you doing to actually contribute to, you know, being with that person, right? What kind of steps are you taking to build the foundation for that future, and it involves both the actual communication and relationship with your feminine, if you know them, and of course you work in your own space, right? The effort that you put into becoming a better version of yourself and planning for the future, at least like the bigger picture, right? Like, you know, you want a family, you want a house, I don't know, you want whatever else, right? Maybe something connected with your passion. Work on it. That's the best you can do to bring this future with your feminine closer. And don't be discouraged if you feel like you've already felt a few times. I'm hearing that message for some. You already felt a few times that you found your soulmate, twin flame, etc. And then it turned out, you know, there was a falling out and you guys broke up. And so now you're confused of whether this perfect partner exists. So that was your confirmation, then yes, they do. And whether you like to hear it or not, but sometimes that's part of the journey, to remove your expectations about being with a specific person and manifest more of the, okay, I want to be with my, perfect life partner. Maybe it sounds a little bit iffy manifestation wise, right? But like with the appointed one, right? Like with my perfect match. And then in some cases, it would be, like I was just saying, a completely new person that you were thinking of, right? And those who you were thinking of were still your soulmates, and you have attracted each other for a very important reason. So it's not like it was a waste of time. It's not like you made a mistake. It happened exactly as it was supposed to, because there are certain lessons that we wouldn't be able to learn with our perfect life partner. But also sometimes it turns out that it is one of the people you've been with before, but this is like a new cycle where you're reconnecting a completely new energy. So the fact that maybe you were like very strongly feeling like that's the one, and then you broke off, it doesn't mean that it's forever. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is over, but it's important for you to detach from that expectation and from thinking that your happiness depends on that person being with you. That's like, it's almost like that's a necessary part for you to accept and for that to sink in, for you to live that way in order to attract your perfect partner. It's not, even if it's the same person, it's not going to happen otherwise, because it would be codependent. How would the feminine see in the connection during this time? I didn't even notice that. I usually do a little bit different questions, right? But that's what I was guided to do today, so we're gonna run with it. Feminines, the moon clarified by 3 of Wands. So another synchronicity. Actually, we had 3 of Wands here already, and obviously the moon energy is all we're talking about today. So feminines understand that they need to continue exploring the deeper desires, the deeper motivation that they have, right? Why are they setting specific intentions, right? And how do they align with their values and their vision for their mission in life? Vision and mission, right? Like, this is very much an internal process, and they understand that they need to figure this out on a few fronts before coming into union with a DM. Because again, when we get together with our twin flame, then there is a whole bunch of new information and timelines and scenarios to deal with, right? And you definitely want to be very stable in where you are as a person, so that you don't get carried away by what your twin wants or what they need from you, or, you know, what you don't want to ruin by any chance. How the masculine see in the connection. Justice clarified by Strength. 2 major arcanas. I love this. So masculines definitely see that everything is happening in divine timing. Justice is very much a karma card, but it's also about the balance, right? Like when the balance is right, when the energy is good, it's strong, you know, and it's an energy of love, not fear. And that's what we talked about at the beginning with the oracle messages. Then everything is going to come together, right? when the time is right. So they understand that if the union is not happening yet, then it's because there is still some karmic lessons to be learned. There are some knots to be untied, so that they understand what happens, why, you know, to draw the lessons from those. And there's a certain courage and strength that they need to exercise and maybe train themselves up to be in that space, to be able to work with those energies. I love this. I'm gonna leave it here because it's getting to be a very long reading. For it, I apologize, guys, but I hope you liked it. Happy new moon, happy Diwali, happy Samhain, and I will talk about Day of the Dead tomorrow, I think. Yes. Okay, so don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel.